we're trying to educate as many Vermonters as possible about what's going on in the world of climate justice and what needs to be really like the leading edge, and how we can push Vermont further than it likes, to encourage it to go where it needs to go, and simultaneously engage with our decision makers. So we want to focus on for the next 2 years, and that includes on climate. And there's some really important decisions being made on, how Vermont heats its homes and powers our electricity. And we're kind of setting up the systems for moving into theoretically a greener and juster future.
We in the United States are getting an increasing taste of what climate change looks like, and the cost of climate change.
The clean heat standard, as I understand it, was kind of intended to be Vermont's stab at creating a regulatory framework for how Vermont should treat its sectors of heating its homes.
Maybe the clean heat standard, but we're also the working on minimizing the use of fossil fuels for our heating needs, and maximizing alternative sources of energy.
And how Vermont should kind of like push companies towards doing it in a better way than just bringing in like fossil fuels. And there were a lot of really, really great measures in the Clean Heat Standard, including freeing up money for weatherization, which is like insulating our houses so we're not heating the outdoors, as well as heat pumps, which are a form of electric heating for your homes. There's kind of like, they can be like air conditioners and heat pumps too.
I'm familiar with the idea and a goal of trying to reduce the carbon footprint of residential and commercial heating and hot water. So I am familiar with that. I'm sad to say that in my house, we heat our hot water and our house with natural gas. When we did our last improvement, heat pumps weren't really feasible for the cost and the availability that they are now. So I think, and in fact my wife and I have talked about this, that if we were in a position to change our primary heating and hot water, we would change to some sort of heat pump or geothermal system. I think I'm very much in favor of proactively getting new development to have a lower carbon footprint in terms of heating and hot water. Might depend on the individual state in which a community-oriented organization might have or not have success. And in some ways, that makes the challenge much, much greater for community organizations in states where organized interests in the state legislature restrict the way in which environmental policies might be changed. But it doesn't always close it off completely, and there's still a fight to be had, and there are still potentially local scale actions, not at the state level, but in the community.
Can't look and say it's all tumbling down. Fortunately, I don't do hopeless.
That's okay, because we want folks who are looking at beyond more than just the individual, but like, this is a really good way to find community. It's a really good way to find purpose. You don't have to be like a hippie environmentalist. In fact, the vast majority of Vermont environmental work happens from folks who are not fit in that stereotype.